Hello, welcome to In Love. Here we talk about how living daily in the reality of God's love keeps us on that transformation track that we desire to stay on. I'm your host, Joy Oviomaiho. Today on episode 7, we will be talking about moving forward in love. In Isaiah 43 verse 18 and 19, God said, "Forget the former things, and consider ye not the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Do you not perceive it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and cause springs to come up in the desert." Notice that before he said, "Behold, I will do a new thing," he first said, Forget the former things. Consider ye not the things of old," meaning do not dwell on that which has passed. Get yourself away from the past so you can behold the thing that I am doing. So we see from that moving forward, which applies to any area of our lives, which is basically talking about progress or growth. If we want to see progress or growth in any area of our life, it starts with the mind. It starts with getting ourselves away from the past. Forget the former things so you can behold. Even when we look at how, the human eyes work, if you're looking at something, you want to get a perspective on something, there's no way you can look at what is in front of you and see what you need to see that is in front of you by also looking to the left. When you're looking forward, you can see things in your peripheral view, right? But you're not able to even focus on those things. You can only focus on, one thing per time, and that's what is in front of you or what you turn your head to. Anyway, any side you turn your head to, that would be what is in front of you, because you literally turned your head to that side. But what has your attention is what you will behold. And we see that even with the way we walk, nobody walks, with their heads to the back. You're trying to walk forward, but your head is to the back or to the side. You'd have different kinds of accidents. When we are walking, we look forward to where we are going. So God is saying, forget the former things. Get your mind away from those old things so you can behold. Get your eyes from what you've been looking at that has already passed. Now talking about the eyes of the mind. Get your mind away from those things so you can behold, so you can start to conceive the things that I am doing, start to perceive the things that I am about to do. God is not saying have amnesia. He's saying let the past not have power over you. Like, let the memories of the past not have power over you enough to make you stay in that place and keep replaying it. We are supposed to remember, actually, but he's saying forget. When he's saying forget, he's saying do not consider them, do not dwell on them. Don't let them be the reason why you cannot move on. Don't let them be the reason why you cannot see what God is doing. We need to remember, because everything that happens to us happens for a reason. And interestingly, there are even some things that would happen to you that are not happening to you because they need to happen to you, but they're happening to you as part of your training for your ministry or whatever it is that you're supposed to do, your purpose. So that when you meet certain people along the way who need those things, now you can reach back to those experiences and draw from them as tools and use them to help the people that they were actually meant for. So when God is saying forget, he's not saying throw the memory away. He's saying don't let it have power over you anymore to keep you stuck. Because if you keep looking at them, you won't be able to see what God is doing. You would think that your story has ended when God is just beginning to work on you. Apostle Paul understood this very well. That's why he said in Philippians 3 verse 13, He said, I do not consider myself to have already apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things that are behind and reaching forward, pressing forward to the mark for that higher calling in Christ Jesus, so that he can obtain the higher calling in Christ Jesus. Even Apostle Paul. And for him, he was even talking about good things. So this forgetting that God is talking about, if we are to see the new thing that God is doing, we have to forget both the old, the good and the bad, because Apostle Paul was actually talking about achievements, forgetting his previous achievements, so that there will not be weights that would hold him back. For us to be able to see the new thing that God is doing, we need to remove our eyes from that which has passed, the hurts of the past, the pain, the trauma. Let them be tools, that we'll put in our toolbox to use for ourselves in the future, and even for the people that will meet along the way. But let them no longer be forces that would hold us back. Jesus is the one that we need to keep our focus on. Jesus is our past, our present, our future, if we allow him to be. So he is where we need to keep our gaze on. Remember the analogy I gave when we started with walking, right? When you're just walking towards something, you keep your eyes in the direction you're moving to. Jesus already told us, said he's the way, he's the truth, he's the life. Meaning he is the way to that destination that you desire, which is still him, because he is the truth and he's the life, right? So Jesus is the path, he's the way, he's the journey, he is the destination. So we need to keep our eyes on Jesus. And that's the only way we can get unstuck in the past, from the past, and keep moving forward to that which God has already ordained for us. No wonder Apostle Paul said in 2 Corinthians 3 verse 18, he said, we all with unveiled faces looking as in a glass are being changed into that same image from glory to glory. So as we continue to look at Christ, as we continue to keep our minds on Christ, think about Christ, we are opening ourselves to being conformed to that same image, that same character. So this is, just encouragement for you, a reminder that God has promised he is doing a new thing, and that new thing is here already. But for you to embrace the new, you have to let go of the old. And remember, that includes the good and the bad. Heal. It's time. It's time for you to heal from the trauma, so that it doesn't prevent you from reaching that place that God has ordained for you. Yes, people hurt you, but those people are moving on with their lives while you're stuck on replay in that place of hurt. It's time for you to let go. Forgive. Forgiveness is not for them. It will help them, especially the ones who would come to ask for forgiveness. But even if they don't come to ask for forgiveness, forgiveness first is for you, because it helps. It's part of the healing process. So is there anything you need to forgive? Is there anyone you need to forgive? Forgive, so you can move from that past and then be able to perceive and see what God is doing. Maybe you need to forgive yourself. That's one of the hardest things to do. Yes, you've seen yourself, self-sabotaged. You've seen how you have not been your best self, how you've not been what you would like to be. And you're holding yourself, you're holding grudges with yourself even without knowing. Forgive yourself. Receive the forgiveness that Christ has already made available. Let that forgiveness permeate through your entire being. Forgive yourself and move on. Decide to make better choices and then move on. God doesn't want us to stay stuck in anything that doesn't look like him. As long as the thought, the action, the place, the mindset, whatever it is, as long as it does not look like Christ, it does not belong to you. if it's a thought pattern, as long as it is not of Christ, it is not yours. So quit accepting those thoughts and calling them your own. It's time to unplug from those things and remain plugged in to Christ and all that He is. So let the weight go. It's time to soar. Thank you for tuning in. I believe this has blessed you. But before you go, I want you to listen to something I wrote. It's a beautiful song titled Bye Bye. This is how I am saying goodbye to everything that has held me back. I believe you will enjoy the song. So listen, and then don't forget to come back next week for some more good soul food. Stay blessed and thrive gracefully. Bye-bye.
When I look in my rearview mirror and I see the past waving at me, I say no, 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 not this time around. I say no, you can't come back now. You can't have your way this time, 'cause there's no room for you. I already said goodbye.